Should be online. Okay, I'm pretty sure we are online. Sorry for this delay. We had some trouble with the, I don't know, maybe with the codec. I don't know what went wrong here. Sorry about that. Thank you if you're still here. Welcome to this update about Lynx and our Kickstarter and everything that is going on in mixed reality today. So I have a small presentation. We have some news to share with you, some things that we want to address, as well as usual, some question we can answer at the end. First thing I want to say before even starting the presentation is thank you again. Thank you for the community that understand that what we're doing is both good and important. And I discussed today with a content creator called Eric for President. He's doing videos and fireside chats with people from the ecosystem. So we just recorded something today, and you will see that in the coming days. So let's dive right in. Okay. I hope you can see me correctly. Let's dive in the presentation. Okay, I will just sit here in the corner. So the first thing we can mention is that Kickstarter campaign is going well, a bit too well, right? We passed our goal, and that's great, but we still have a few days going, so we will update the stretch goals as well. Right now, if you look at what we posted about the stretch goal, it's mainly hardware product like a transport case and stuff like that. And we will update that next week with software stretch goal that will complement the stretch goal we have today. But again, thank you. I think we just passed $600,000, which is amazing for our company. So again, thank you. And the price of the headset today is $500 and $700 for the special edition. So a quick word about the special edition first is that some people say, hey, it's just a transparent faceplate. It doesn't cost $200. So it's not the only modification that is needed for this edition. It's not that we just switched to a transparent front. We had to make some adjustment as well to prevent light leak and light dispersion because we have LEDs for hand tracking that are doing fluid illumination, and they're refracted inside the transparent faceplate. So we have to we need to add the paint, black paint, to occlude some light for your eyes and for the LEDs of fluid illumination. So it's not just a transparent faceplate, but it's a nice headset, and it's a good way for you to show your support and as well as show that you're a geek. But it has a nice aesthetics. You will see that more and more online as we are sharing more footage and more image inside and outside of the headset. But after the Kickstarter, the price of the device will go up. So after November 9th, the price of the headset is going to be $100 more. So if you have, so the Kickstarter campaign basically give you an immediate 20% discount on the final price of the headset. So for those of you that are early adopters and trusted us, thank you, because you have a nice discount. And pass the word along that the price, of course, will go up after the Kickstarter ends. So there is no limitation in volume for the base model. We are going to produce a lot of them, but price will hike after the campaign. I just wanted to make it clear. Again, a few specs for those of us that that are not really aware. Again, all-in-one, 6 DOF, hand tracking, high resolution, high frame rate. This new optical architecture, SteamVR compatible. a good battery life. You can use an external battery as well. You can use an external SD card. You can use an external audio system. It has a fast charge with USB-C, and you can do a 3D mesh reconstruction. And that last line, the last line here, 3D mesh reconstruction, I'm going to dive a bit more into that and tell you more, especially for the developers that might be in the stream tonight. So again, it's always the same slide. We are going to support OpenXR, going to drop soon, I think beginning of December. So it will allow us to be compatible with more runtimes like Unity and Unreal. We'll have, thanks to OpenXR, we'll have a native support with SteamVR. So we discussed with the SteamVR team, and they confirmed us that once we are fully compatible with OpenXR, we'll be able to be natively compatible with them. And they're working on that on their side, and we're working on that on our side as well. So a bit about the developers' tools and these 3D mesh reconstructions. You might not know this company, but Wikitude was acquired by Qualcomm, I think beginning of September. So Qualcomm provide us the XR2 chipsets, like many other all-in-one headsets. It's a state-of-the-art chipset, and it comes with software as well. It comes with plumbing, APIs on top of DSP, GPU, CPU to do all kinds of processes on the cameras, on tracking and stuff like that, on rendering as well. And when they bought Wikitude, it was aimed for enhancing mixed reality experiences on the XR2 chipset and on the chipset that will come after. And Wikitude, you can check their website, it's still on. They're doing AR product mainly, and they're a software company that are focused on doing what ARKit and ARCore are doing. So not only tracking, but understanding of the scene as well. So now with the headset, with Lynx, before the release of the product in April, we'll have a compatibility with what Wikitude is doing. So not only mesh reconstruction, but scene understanding, like understanding what is around you. Is it a table? Is it a chair? Is it a person? We'll be able to track 3D objects in space, like being able to follow an object and to anchor 3D objects on top of that of these 3D objects that is in the field of the headset. So basically, you have to expect that not only we're doing hand tracking and SIG stuff, but the SDK of Lynx will come with great tools like, QR code detection, pattern detection, image recognition, 3D tracking of objects in space, and all that. That is really exciting because this is how you have very immersive content in mixed reality. Not only in VR, but also mostly in AR, but also in VR as well, because the cameras are on and can track objects in your living room or where you're using the headset. So that is really great. I wanted to mention that. Some people were worried because we don't have the same capabilities as the big companies, but thanks to Qualcomm and Wikitude acquisition, we're going to leverage this set of APIs soon. I don't have a date yet. We're still focusing on stabilizing our existing software, but Qualcomm is working really hard on that. And a quick word about Qualcomm. This week I was fortunate enough to have a podcast, to make a podcast with the head of XR at Qualcomm, Hugo Schwartz. He's the one that trusted us with the XR2 basically to do Lynx, and we had this almost 1 hour discussion, and it's going to be published, I believe maybe tomorrow. So it was really nice to discuss with Hugo, he sees a lot. You can imagine from Qualcomm policies about AR and VR, and it was really interesting to have his opinions and discuss mixed reality in detail with him. So stay tuned. I will publish it here as well, and on Twitter and our LinkedIn. But there is this podcast coming up thanks to Anshul, that is also following us, the journalist and analyst that made this podcast possible. So about all those podcasts and friends coming over, on last Friday, we had Cass and Chari, who were the first one actually to come to our office in Paris and experience the pre-production units that we had. So it was fun, but it's pre-production units, so we weren't able to demonstrate everything we wanted because some features were pretty new. For example, the hand tracking, and also like being able to record inside a headset at the same time as having everything running. The device is quite power constrained, and we need to make more optimization. But I guess they had a lot of fun. They said thank you, so I'm saying thank you if they're watching as well. It was really, really great to have you. You were our first crash test beta tester, so it was really, really nice to test all that with you. I hope you enjoyed the AR experiences, the VR experiences as well. The video should be out pretty soon. I know I still have to send them some footage of what they saw inside the headset, but it was great. And on Saturday, I will host Sebastian and Gary. So Sebastian is from Mixed Reality TV, and Gary is from the channel Immersed Robot. And we wanted to have more people, but they were coming from the US, from the MRTV crew. There were more people like Tetiana and Skiva, but I'm sorry that they couldn't come at this time because of it's complicated for us to have people coming from the US right now. But Gary and Sebastian will be here on Saturday. They will. I will be with them. We're going to discuss around the device, test everything I can make them test. And I guess on Saturday evening we're going to do a whole episode all together where we discuss what they experience and what they like, what it's like, and you'll see that I don't know if you'll see, but I can tell you that there is a difference between what Cass and Chari experience and what Sebastian would experience, because in a week we are able to produce more content, and everything we received, hand tracking arrived very lately. Some features were very late in the development, so we're trying to caught up with the pace here. So you'll see more and more impressive demos. If you haven't checked our hand tracking, you can check my Twitter account. We'll post more things here. We also post some stuff on YouTube. You might have seen the hand tracking there too. It's quite impressive. It's working really, really well. So huge props for anyone working at Ultralip that is watching this video. Thank you so much for all the efforts and the journey for having the hand tracking working on an Android device, especially on the XR2 chipset. It's really exciting. I waited 3 or 4 years for that. And I'm really happy that we're the first Android-based all-in-one device having this amazing hand tracking technology. It really makes up for like 30 to 40% of the experience and the emotions you have when you're using the headset. And Sebastian and Gary will try that, and we'll have more people try that at the office. And the last thing I wanted to share with you today was there is all this behind the scenes that are happening since we started the Kickstarter campaign. We had a lot of attention. It's really hard to answer to everyone out there. So if you didn't hear back from me, I'm really sorry. We have hundreds of messages every few days to go through. It's a full-time job just for that. And we are having all kinds of people at the office. And yesterday, I was with Shuki, who is here with me. You don't see he's off the field of view, but he's with me and Mark, and we were able to demonstrate the pre-production unit of Lynx at the French Spatial Space Agency. So they are interested, like many professionals around the world, to do remote collaboration, training, special things with the mixed reality capabilities that we have. And I cannot share anything with you except this picture. So this was us, part of our team, Mark, Shuki, and I at the control command of the International Space Station in Toulouse, where the French National Space Agency is monitoring astronauts, especially Thomas Pesquet, who is the commander of the International Space Station. And the team on the ground is making all kinds of work with AR and VR that we absolutely cannot discuss here. But yeah, it's I'm really excited. I can't wait to see more and more professionals use the headsets as well, both consumers and professionals in all kinds of environments, even space. Why not? And so we are very confident in our future, and it's great to finally be able to demonstrate the device to people. We are trying to get things right. We're trying to to show you honest things and not marketing videos that you know from other companies. I hope you appreciate that. And this is all I wanted to share for tonight. So we can go all the way to the Q&A now. I will put my camera back on. I'm sure you have tons of questions. Okay, so Shuki, do you have a platform for your headset to concentrate APKs? Yeah, it's a good question. It's a recurring question. We are and my answer is still the same. Sorry, but we're still figuring this out. Are we working with a company like SideQuest, and they have to come, or we'll send a headset to them as soon as we can, of course, or we do our store, our content distribution platform ourselves. This isn't set yet. There are a lot of discussions on the hardware, on the licensing, on all that we have to take into consideration. But there will be a place. Trust me, there will be a place where the developers, where the users will be able to explore applications in VR, in AR, that are dedicated to Lynx or that are cross-platform. We're working on that. We're taking our time because we want to make this important cornerstone of Lynx ecosystem right. It's a tough job, and we'll keep you updated about that. So sorry, no precise answer yet on that. Can you give us an insight into the FOV cone for reliable hand tracking, cone angle, min-max distance? So the hand tracking is like the camera of the hand tracking is 170 degrees. So what I can tell you for sure is that about the field of view of the device itself, when you want to put your hands in the field of view, the 90 degrees cone, your hands are already tracked. That's very good. So even if you have your hands that are cut from your vision, you know that they are still tracked. So that was important. And then it's quite large. It's around that all the way down, and it's here it's still tracked. So that the Ultraleap team made sure that their algorithm and the illumination of the LEDs that we power can make sure that we still see the hands there. So it's quite a big volume. It's more than a good enough volume for what we're doing. Are controllers tracked by tracking hands, or are controllers generally tracked via LEDs on the controllers? So right now, what we're trying to do with Finch is leveraging some of their technologies to change the size of the controller so it's not too big, and the hands can be tracked. So we're tracking the hands. That's the position of that will give the position of the headset relative to your head. And then the IMU on board will do some sensor fusion with the hand tracking to give the orientation. So we want 6DoF controllers, so translation and orientation translation is mainly coming from the hand tracking, and then you will have a always on rotation thanks to the IMU on board. So it will rely first on the hand tracking. Why is the travel case not available as an add-on? It's not yet available as an add-on because we haven't crossed volumes both on the Kickstarter and on the professional units where we can justify this cost. But maybe next week or in 10 days, depending on some companies and the Kickstarter, we might propose that as an add-on. I will see. It's only a matter of cost. When are you going to show the VR gameplay with your new controllers? As soon as we can. So we already have we already are able to launch Steam VR games and play with the Finch controllers we have. They're not using the latest algorithm of positional tracking, but we're able to demonstrate that is already working. It's not the native Steam VR plugin that we want to make. It's the CloudXR bridge that we have with NVIDIA. But the Lynx is completely, the hardware is completely capable of running that. There are a lot of questions. Can the head strap be customized, changed? That's a very good question because I have a work in progress unit here. So let's show you some of the stuff you can do. So that's a pre-production unit that the team is assembling, and you can see that. So you won't be able to customize anything below my hand. So all the front part, this you cannot really touch. You can add things on top of that are not blocking the cones, the vision cones of the cameras for best experience. You can put stickers, you can add sensors. We'll provide the profiles of those shapes so you can 3D print on top of it. And anything after my hand, all that with the battery that will be at the back here, you'll be able to unscrew, customize, and change. So you have to make sure that you don't damage the cables of the battery. But if you want to have the battery in your pocket or in not at the back of your head, you can definitely have an extension cable come up here, and then you have 4 cables for the speakers here. So I hope the team is not watching, but this is one of the speaker with 2 cables. So you can absolutely customize everything that is not the front part of the headset. Yeah. So why is it that you cannot customize the front part of the headset? Is because once you touch a plastic part at the front, you might modify the position of the tracking cameras. And all the headsets are precisely calibrated. So if you change the position of a camera, like orientation or translation, even 1 millimeter, the 6DoF algorithm and the hand tracking algorithm may not work as expected or just may break. So don't do crazy things on the front part. You can put stuff on top, but please don't change that. But if you're if you are a hacker, if you want to hack the hardware on the mechanical side, you can definitely open the strap and change it and make cool things. That's not insured, but you're free to try, of course. If I buy a Lynx, do I own it? It seems like you limit a purchase right by licensing for different uses. But if you buy a Lynx, it's yours. There's no question about that. It's just that if you want to resell the headset with a commercial software on top of that you developed or your company developed, you will need a license from us to redistribute the headset. That's the only thing we ask for companies or developing teams that are developing on top of the software, on the hardware. Sorry. But otherwise, yeah. I mean, in all cases, it's yours. You're free to do whatever you want with it. Um, will I be able to use hand tracking and the controllers at the same time? Yes. What kind of software apps are installed on the HMD, navigation, cinema, photocam? So we'll have a few sample apps that will be used as an example of what the device is able to do. So it's not really defined yet. We have a few demos here running here and there, but there will be some samples coming with the headset, like a small game, things where you can see hand tracking shine, where you'll see 6 dots shine as well, and the pass-through, and all that combined together. That's for sure. What does that mean? The controller tracking FOV will match the hand tracking FOV? Yeah. So with what we're doing with Finch, remember that's just with Finch we're working, evaluating other technologies, but for the Finch approach, the hand tracking volume is the same as the controller tracking volume. Please clarify if you will allow root access and unlocking bootloader. So the way things work on hardware, you cannot really open source everything. There are things that Qualcomm cannot open source to us, so we cannot open source them to you. But we can give you a root access, that for sure. For the bootloader, I'm not sure yet. I will discuss with them. We'll see what we can do. But this is not it's not fully open source right to the metal, but we will open source everything we have control over. So root access is guaranteed. Bootloader, I'm not sure. I think we can. That's stuff we'll need to discuss with Qualcomm, I guess. In the US, the IRS is looking into monitoring purchases above $600. Can we buy the headset and then pair the controllers afterwards? That's very specific questions. The answer is yes, but I like the way you ask the questions. Do you think SDK Wikitude can use object tracking to maintain position on stage when you can see the physical objects with your camera? For example, when you return? Yeah. Yes, so I think most of the algorithm of the Wikitude SDK and what Qualcomm will do with it, I'm not sure. I haven't seen everything yet, but they will use the tracking cameras, the monochrome cameras that we incline them sideways and have a larger volume than the color cameras that we have. So yeah. Do you plan to have your own app store? It's kind of linked to the other questions. It's not decided yet, but yeah, it's something that we're right now trying to see how we do that on top of Android. Cookie is smiling at some of the questions. Is the US Army considering buying? No, they posed the HoloLens project. We're having some contact with people that are working in the defense industry in Europe and in the US. As you've seen, the HoloLens program was kind of altered or delayed, I would say. I cannot really express anything on that. But the Lynx is definitely an option for the defense industry as well. I don't know where it's going to go, but we had some contact, but nothing. I don't think the U.S. Army will use a product coming from a French company. So for the US Army, I think they will just continue what they do with Microsoft, or maybe another US company. Will the shipped controllers be original Finch shift ones, or a special Finch Lynx version? So the controllers that will ship, they will be made by us. They will be both designed and manufactured by us, and inside they will have some of Finch technology. So the design, and like, it's basically a Lynx controller with some of underlying Finch technologies. But it's not like the Finch controller you're seeing today with the armband and the controllers they did today. So we'll have a joystick. We'll change the way buttons are on the controllers. The torque will be different, and no armband. And we'll manufacture it. So we yeah. Can you play fitness game that don't require a lot of button presses? Yeah, we want to see. I know we can do fitness games. You can do fitness games that don't require controllers at all. Remember, the hand tracking on Lynx is state of the art, and for some applications, you just don't need controllers at all. The hand tracking can be completely used as the primary and only input on the headset. On the long run, it's going to look like that. So yeah, a fitness game is a very good candidate for being an application where you don't need controllers at all. No more questions. Let me scroll a little. Oh yes, there are so many questions. So I see a question that comes back often, and I don't know how we can solve that one. It's always recurring, but people say there will be like light leakage from the side on our headset. You can close the like when you're using the headset in VR only mode, you can definitely put a strap, like a VR face cover here, a facial interface. I showed that in another video. I'm pretty sure we have. Can you pass me the two here, the two facial cover? Yeah, thank you. So here are the facial interfaces we have. That's the one for by default without the glasses, and that's a bigger one for being able to have your glasses come all the way there. So no, there is no light leakage on Lynx. It won't come from the side. If you want to use the headset in an open way and have your peripheral vision of the real world, that's fine. But you can also use that if you want a total and fully black closed immersion for VR. So don't worry. Stop worrying about that. We'll change our communication to make it more clear in the more recent videos that we are going to post later this week. Is it possible to adapt a safety helmet with the Lynx R1? So yes, it's definitely possible. Shuki, can you get the Natasha helmet? So Natasha is the name of the prototype we have. We name all our devices with names. I mean, we give them names so we know exactly which is which. So this headset is a Lynx R1 with a modified strap, and if you want to adapt it with a strap like this one, you can absolutely do that. We'll make some of those, but this is just to show you that if you don't touch anything at the front, but you shouldn't have any problem to customize the strap at the back. And we put a massive battery here, so some developers can play with it for a few hours. Will you found any ports of things like ALVR or Desktop Plus PC Mirror or Open Source Beat Saber cloud made by the community? So I would love as a platform developer for Lynx, I would love to be able to fund initiative to have content on Lynx. And we are getting, so Kickstarter is getting us money that we'll be able to put out for some developers as well. And we are also raising money right now through VC investors and other kind of investors. And part of that money will be made for content creation to support some developers out there. And we also want to create an internal studio for content creation to show you what's possible. So yeah, stay tuned. It's one of our initiatives that we have in store. Please add this military strap to Kickstarter. I don't think we'll have enough people for that particular strap that will buy that through the Kickstarter to make it break even for us. But we can share the files if you want to make it compatible. Do you plan to have an emulator so that developers that do not have access to the headset can develop on it? That is something we want to do. We don't have the software resources yet. All our software team is right now focusing on demos and OpenXR and some of the APIs and hand tracking. So we don't have the resources to do that, but it's definitely on our roadmap for the developer. Is the 530 euro price tag only for Kickstarter, or is it the final retail price? So you clearly missed the beginning of my video, but the price will hike after the price will be higher after the end of the Kickstarter campaign. So on November 9th, you'll still be able to order the device on our website and not through Kickstarter anymore, and it will be more expensive. It will be $100 more dollar expensive. Can we expect to see any new demos? Yes. We are only working on that right now, so you'll see a lot of new demos. What will be the development tools for making software for Lynx? Will there be WebXR supported web browser? So we want to have WebXR on the device as well. I guess once we finish the OpenXR runtime, we'll be able to port Chromium-based browser and Mozilla Firefox on the headset more easily. Could you imagine games like Pokemon Go working on the Lynx? Absolutely. Yeah, and I hope someone will do a game like that on Lynx. It's going to be an amazing opportunity here to make a lot of cash. Trust me. Can we do full body tracking on Lynx? Like you can access the frames of the camera. So if you are looking at someone, you could run. You should be able to run an on-device program, maybe like OpenPose, to make some full body tracking. Maybe not at 60 Hz, but maybe at 30 Hz, you should be able to do that. Will the device not just mesh reconstruction, but real-time depth data? So the device doesn't have a time of flight or a LiDAR scanner on board. We don't have that on version 1. What we're doing is all the 3D estimation we're doing is with the overlap region of the two tracking cameras. So we are doing depth estimation from the stereo of the two cameras that are tracking the environment, and they have a baseline of 92 millimeters. Mesh reconstruction with texture or just the wireframe? Right now it's just a wireframe, but we could add the texture in the upcoming month. Will Steam be native on the headset? Yes. Okay, so I think I answered. Okay, for someone that is not a developer, will they be able to access the stereo view of the cameras to use something like reality blender that support an SBS stereo image to have XR. I don't know. Will there be parental controls for people with kids? So my advice is don't make use of Lynx with kids because the interpupillary distance is not meant for them. So it's going to be hard for kids to have a good stereo disparity and matching on the headset. Please promise that Lynx won't sell to Facebook. I'm recorded on camera. I promise you that. I promise. Whatever the conditions are money, I promise that Lynx will never be sold to Facebook. You didn't answer if you're getting enough sleep. Right now, I don't get enough sleep, but it's all right. It's all right. We're doing very good work. I'm very proud of the team. People are liking the device. It's a great time. It's very exciting. You are keeping me awake. Okay, so I think it's good for tonight. We had a very good session. I will answer all the upcoming questions you have either on the next live, or you can send them by email or on Twitter or anywhere you want. If I don't answer immediately, I'm sorry. I'm trying to answer to everyone. It's hard in these times. You have to imagine that we are in a very agitated time, if I can say things like that. We are getting a lot of attention from partners, but also from the competition. So it's hard to stay focused. But as I told you, we're doing very good work. I really can't believe the pace at like what we're delivering in terms of features on both the hardware and the software. Now that we have all the blocks coming together, it's really a joy. And stay updated by following my Twitter account. This is where we'll post everything about the next demos and all the footage we want to show you. But yeah, that's it. That's it for tonight. Thanks again. Sorry again for the delay when we tried to connect on YouTube. We'll do a live event next week. Same time, same day. I think it's working well. And I'll see you online. I'll see you on the Kickstarter as well. Remember that it's only going to work if we continue to spread the word. So I'm thanking everyone who reached out to and that have an audience, so we can use that. It's really helpful. As I told you, I really believe that our mission is important for the AR and VR community. For things that go completely out of scope of AR and VR, when we look at privacy, what the companies that are making those platforms will do with the data. So now you don't have to only see us as a hardware provider. You also have to see us as a platform provider. Like we are stacking things on top of our hardware, and we want to make it in a way that is not like what companies like Facebook are doing. You know what I mean? So thank you, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in, and see you soon. Bye.